Hey guys, welcome back. Bill here. I want to talk to you about Glock sizes. Now, I get questions all the time. What size is right for me? And so that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you specifically about what Glock size would fit you. Now, before I do this, I'm just going to be giving suggestions based on my experience, based on things I know about guns fitting certain people and with certain hand sizes, and with certain roles. But essentially, the gun that you use is your gun. Is going to fit you specifically for whatever role you need it to serve. So if that doesn't make sense, it will when we start talking about the different Glocks and Glock sizes. I don't have them all, but I have experience with many different Glock sizes and a few different calibers. Mostly I'm going to be talking about double stack 9mm. So like the Glock 19s, the 26s, the 45s, 17s, 34s. But there are corresponding sizes with just about all the different calibers. So for example, we'll start with the Glock 19, which is the compact Glock. All right, so this is your compact size Glock. This does not, if you have big hands, you're not going to be able to get a full purchase without the magazine in, or at least I can't. That's why I have a mag well on this one. It gives my thumb something to grab onto. But it is a 4-inch barrel, so more compact in the slide and then more compact on the frame versus a full size like a 17 or a 34. All right, so this right here is sort of the compact Glock 19 is the do-all. It weighs unloaded 23 ounces, and this gun is going to be good for CCW. This gun is going to be good for home defense. Throw a light on it. They have an accessory rail up front, so you can use a light with it. If you want to put a full-size red dot on there. All right, this gun, it has the ability to shoot all day, be comfortable to conceal, but also has a 15+1 round capacity with a standard magazine. And so it just fits just about all roles. If you're curious about Glocks, I would tell most people to start with the Glock 19. Try it out when you're feeling it in the gun store. Try it out. See what you think, see if it fits your hand, see if it fits your role. You can use just about any optic size for this one if you wanted to go big optic or small optic. If you're wanting to use irons only, all right, you can still get the MOS or you can still get the non-MOS versions, all right? If like me, you don't like the plates with the MOS, you can get a non-MOS and then get it milled out. There are tons of companies that do that. Tons of companies that accessorize these guns. That's why they're so popular. So yeah, if you're not sure what you are wanting for CCW, all right, start with the Glock 19 and kind of go from there. This gun is going to fill lots of roles and it is fun to shoot. If you are wanting to shoot a gun all day, there are better options. But if you're wanting a gun that you can conceal, a gun that you can shoot all day, and a gun that pretty much fits all roles that you could put a light on, because this one does have an accessory rail, all right, this is the way to go. So the Glock 19 is going to be my first choice when people are asking me, hey, I want a gun, what should I be looking at? Glock 19. Also, I've got a Shadow Systems here. So there are similar type guns from other companies. Shadow Systems makes Glock clones. So for the Shadow System, it would be a MR920. All right, they make fantastic guns as well. I can't speak highly enough of them. I have many videos, so if you're interested in different Shadow Systems guns, I've got videos for that. But let's talk about the next one I don't have is the Glock 26. The Glock 26 is considered the subcompact. If you are looking for something strictly for CCW, just wanting to carry it, that is a good option. Now the Glock 26 with the standard magazine is 10+1 in the chamber. The Glock 26 weighs about 21 ounces, so very light. You can buy aftermarket accessory rails that will go on it, but it does not come standard with an accessory rail. So if you're looking for something to be able to carry a light, you might want to look at a different place. That's where you might want to go. If you're thinking strictly for concealed carry, you might want to go the 43X or 48, Glock 48 and Glock 43X options, because those will provide you with accessory rails if you go the MOS route. The 43X, I think, does not have one unless you go MOX. So those are the single stack magazines. That's a 10+1 as well, but it's a little bit thinner for the frame. And a lot of people like the longer frame because you can get a better purchase. If you have smaller hands, probably not an issue, but if you have larger hands like me, I think it has the frame size of a 19, but it's a little bit thinner. So it's got the length there for a complete grip. Now, there's lots of aftermarket accessories for the 26 and for the 43X. So if you have large hands and it doesn't fit, that might still be an option for you. It's just that you're gonna have to get a magazine, like an extended magazine, where you can get a full purchase on the gun. So that is the 26. That is strictly, in my opinion, for CCW. But if you are carrying a gun all day, like a 26, and you carry it in your house and you're inside your house carrying your gun, like most people do, or at least like I do, that is your home defense handgun. So whereas I would never say a Glock 26 can't be used for home defense, if you're at home and that's the gun that you have on you, that's the gun you're defending yourself with. So that would be my home defense handgun, right? The next gun we'll talk about is the full-size Glock 17. This Glock 17 is by far my favorite size. Most people would tell you that this is not a CCW size, but I would disagree with them and say that this, for some people, probably even most people, can be concealed. I know smaller people, shorter people who conceal carry a 17. Now, you do need a good belt. You do need a good holster. I have a video on how to conceal a full-size handgun, but I conceal this gun. I'm 6'2", about 230. I have been carrying a full-size handgun, this Glock 17 now, the DR920, which is the full-size from Shadow Systems last year. All right, really the first gun that I started concealed carrying every day, like when I started carrying every day, was a Glock 17. Now I did have a Smith & Wesson Shield that I wore sometimes, but day in, day out, a Gen 3 Glock 17 with no accessory, with no light on it was what I wore. Standard stock, the OEM sights. That's what I carried every single day. All right, and it was never a problem. I carried it at 3 o'clock. Never had anybody like indicate to me that they could see the frame of the handgun or anything like that. So I think a lot of people think that you cannot carry a full size, or maybe they can't carry a full size, but I really would challenge you to reconsider, because what's nice about this Glock 17, it's only 22 ounces, a little over 22 ounces unloaded. So it's not much heavier than the Glock 19, but what you are picking up with this Glock 17, you're getting the full size slide, so 4.5-inch barrel, the full size frame here, and it shoots just flatter than the 19. You're getting the longer sight radius if you're running irons, all right, but it just gives you a full purchase if you have large hands. It's more comfortable to shoot. It's easier to shoot all day if you're running classes. It's more fun. It's more enjoyable to shoot this gun. If I were to CCW a gun, I want to CCW. I want to carry the gun that I know I'm going to shoot better than all the others. Now, I shoot a Glock 19 very, very well because I've carried it for so long, but this gun I shoot better than any other gun. So my thinking is, if I'm going to carry a gun that I might have to defend my life, my family's life, even the life of a stranger, so be it. If I'm gonna carry a gun that I might need on the worst day of my life, I want it to be the gun that I shoot the best. And so a full-size gun is what I choose. You can get a full-size optic on there. Same thing, I forgot to say this about the Glock 26. With the Glock 26, what I like about the Glock 26 is if you decide to run a red dot on it, you can run the bigger full-size red dot, something like a SRO. something like a Holosun 507C or the 508T, or even you could run an enclosed optic on the Glock 26. So forgot to mention that, but that is the nice thing about the subcompact Glock 26. Back to the full size. You're gonna get full size capacity 17+1. And then of course lots of aftermarket support. So if you are looking for a gun, maybe you can CCW, but that's not your major concern. Your concern is like something to keep at the house, maybe something to run to practice with, something that you plan on shooting a lot. Glock 17 is a really good option. So is the Glock 34. The Glock 34, I don't have mine with me today. I've got it sent off to Maple Leaf Firearms, getting some work done on it. This one I had done from Mac Defense Industries, and you don't appreciate how you can work off the front of a gun until you go back to the stock configuration of Glock. So this one had some slide work done from Mac Defense Industries, but a buddy of mine has a Glock 19 from Maple Leaf, and I really liked the duty cut. So I sent my 34 off to them to get some work done. I was having a hard time coming over the front and like press checking, that sort of thing. The extra slide length, it's a 5-inch gun, that extra slide length, when I went to work off the front, my hands were sliding because the front serrations were up a little bit further. So sent it off to get some work done. But the 34 is what they consider their competition gun. But I know people that carry that gun. They're usually taller, bigger guys, but it can be done. If you are thinking about going with a full-size frame, I would tell you to look at the 17 and the 34. The 34 can be carried, especially if you're planning on running a light like I have on mine. It sits about flush with the Surefire X300, and then it sits over with the TLR 1 HL. It extends past this light. Okay, so it is a long slide, but if you are looking for something strictly for home defense, something strictly to run at the range or run it for classes, that's a very good option. The Glock 34, the Glock 17, the longer the slide, in my experience, the softer it shoots. The longer the frame, in my experience, the softer it shoots as well. Now, I don't have a 45 here. A 45 is, Glock 45 is considered the crossover, Glock's crossover. The thing I like about the Glock 45 is that you get a full-size frame. But if you're gonna use a full-size frame, why not just go with a full-size handgun? So when I'm on Reddit a lot, I see a lot of people suggesting the 45, and the 45 is a fantastic option. I'm not denying that. My argument would be, if you want a full-size frame, why not go with the full-size slide, full-size barrel? You get an increase in ballistic with the full size. With the longer barrel, you're typically getting more velocity with the round. If you're running irons, you're getting a longer sight radius, which is going to help with acquiring your target quicker. These days, most people are running optics, and I only run optics on my handguns. Every handgun I own has an optic on it. So, so personally for me, I like the longer slide because it shoots a little bit softer. That's what it is. Now, I've also heard people say with the Glock 45, you're going to be coming out of the holster faster. I just disagree with that. When I'm pulling a gun out of a holster, so here's my 19, and I'll talk about some of the cool things about Glock compatibility with holsters. So if I'm coming out of a holster, when I draw out, I draw straight up. All right, so if I'm coming out at appendix, this is a what they call a sidecar holster. This is a tier 1 concealed Axis Elite. If I'm pulling up, I'm pulling straight up. So even when I clear the holster, I'm still pulling and then presenting and getting on target. So that just doesn't, that to me, it's not like as soon as I clear my holster, I'm presenting. Now, if you carry at 3 o'clock, maybe that's true. But in my experience, if you're concealing appendix, there's no benefit from drawing faster with a 45 versus a 17 or a 34. I'm pulling straight up. to right here where I clap, right here where my sternum is. My support hand drops my garment, index is on the handgun, and then I press out. So whether it's a 34 or a 17 or a 45 or a 19 or a 26, I'm pulling straight up here and then presenting. So I don't notice a faster draw with a 45 than I do a 34. To me, the draw is the same. What I notice a faster draw and better shooting is when I get a better grip on my 17 frame versus my 19 frame, okay? I get a much better full purchase on this 17 because the frame is longer than I do on this 19, okay? So my finger, I've got this magwell on there, but my finger hangs off just a little bit. Even with the magazine will catch my finger, but there are times when I am really pressing into the gun that my finger will sort of slide off the magazine, okay? So that affects my shooting. Therefore, that's why I prefer to carry with the larger gun, the 17, all right? You also get more capacity. You're getting 18 rounds versus 16. But the main reason is that I shoot it better, okay? So with all that being said, I just want to speak about holster compatibility. For most of these guns, I can speak the 19s, 17s, and 34s. They usually, in my experience, they all are capable of using the same holsters, okay? Same thing with Shadow Systems. They make their guns so that they fit the same holsters. So this is a 19 holster. All right, fits the Glock 19. Very good retention. I can put this DR 920, which is the full size offering from Shadow Systems, and it also fits with a little bit of sticking out. All right, same thing with the 34. The 34 will hang out even a little bit further than that. So sometimes the end of the barrel is exposed. I sometimes can feel that in the barrel, all right, but I'm also feeling it whether it's the full size or not. When I'm shooting a lot, I can feel that. So that's something to consider. Also, if you were to use a light, so whether I'm using a holster that is light compatible or not, they still work with the different models. So this is a TLR1. This is the 19. Going into a 17 holster, and as you can see, it fits. The only difference is that the with the 17 it goes flush with the holster, and with the 34 it extends past that holster just a little bit. All right, so a lot of times you will see people, and here's the thing, here's the bottom line about shopping for a Glock. You're gonna get one, you're gonna, I would recommend dry firing it. Make sure it fits your hand, make sure it fits the role that you're looking for, but you're gonna get one and then you're gonna want another one, okay? That's just how it goes. So if you end up going with a 19, you're gonna get it, you're gonna like it, and then you're gonna, hopefully shoot it a lot and decide, hey, you know what? I really like this 19, but I need a 26 dedicated for concealed carry. I really just need a 26, and I'm gonna buy the 26 and I'm gonna carry it every day. Or, I like this 19, but I think I can carry a 17, and I bet I'll like it better. All right, and then you're going to end up buying a 17. That's just unfortunately how it goes with guns in general, but especially with Glocks, because they're awesome. They really are awesome guns. So you're going to end up buying one, and then after you buy it, you're going to end up buying another because you're going to like it so much, and that's okay. But I'm here to let you know that the holster compatibility that you buy for one will be compatible for the other one as long as they're the double stack models. Now, this is not true of the 26. Unfortunately, I've not checked with the 26, but I can tell you with the 19s, 17s, and 34s, you can use the 19 and the 34 holster. You're just not, the 19 is going to sit below the edge of the holster. You can use the 34 and the 19 holster. All right, you're just going to have, it's not going to necessarily sit flush. All right, it's going to extend a little bit beyond the end of the holster. All right, so that's very, very cool. And it doesn't matter if it's with a light on it. All right, the Surefire TLR1, I can use the 17 or the 19 or even the 34, okay, in the same holsters, whether it's light compatible or non-light bearing. All right. So I hope that helps, guys. If you disagree with something that I said, or if you have any other comments based on some of the things that I mentioned today, or something you would like to add to the conversation, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.